Hello, Oracles. Well, Tesla's project, codenamed Highland, is due to start production in Q3 of 2023. What is Project Highland? We will get into that in a moment, along with other news coming out of Berlin and their production ramp over there. So, in an article put out by Reuters earlier today, says exclusive Tesla readies revamped Model 3 with Project Highland. So it looks like Tesla is developing a revamped version of Model 3, according to four people with knowledge of the effort, as the top EV maker aims to cut production costs and boost the appeal of the 5-year-old electric sedan. One focus of the redesign, codenamed Highland, is to reduce number of components and complexity in the interior of the Model 3 while focusing on features that Tesla buyers value, including the display, according to people who asked not to be named because the revamp has not been announced. The revamp of the battery-powered sedan, which could also include some changes to the Model 3's exterior and powertrain performance, will go into production at Tesla's factory in Shanghai and the company's Fremont, California plant, two of the people said. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory will put the redesigned Model 3 into production in the third quarter of 2023, they said. It was not clear when production would start at the Fremont plant or how large a cost savings Tesla would achieve from the redesign as it works with suppliers. Now, this is something that a lot of people have mentioned before about the fact that the Model 3 is, an older model. We'll call it older just because it's 5 years now, and it's due for a revamp anyway. So we knew that this was coming, just didn't know when or what the facet was going to be behind all of it. But now, based upon these rumors, we can say that Q3 of 2023, we will end up seeing this. Again, these are just rumors. We do not have any confirmation behind this from Tesla whatsoever. But now I start to ask a bunch of different questions. These are things that I do on here all the time. We just ask a lot of questions. So the next question that I have is, well, the employees that came from Shanghai to visit Fremont, were they there just to help them with production to see if they could squeeze out more vehicles there? Or was it so they could take a look at it for this revamp model? So perhaps this is what's going on over there. Maybe it's twofold. Maybe they were doing both. Maybe the employees from Shanghai came over so that they could help them with the production ramp, and they were also able to take a look at the facility and discuss the logistics behind getting the Model 3 revamped for Q3 as well. So I have a feeling that we are going to see this happen in Shanghai first, and then we'll end up seeing it roll out in Fremont shortly thereafter. Something else we had discussed about a year ago today was the fact that China wanted to come out and design their own vehicle. They wanted their own model. So I do not know if this is what that is going to be, or if this is just something that they designed. Maybe this is their first step in doing something of their own. So perhaps Shanghai is designing this to show, hey, this is what we can do. We're going to put this out, and then they're going to end up designing their own model shortly thereafter as well. So I have a feeling that Shanghai is going to be the ones that are going to be designing the compact car that is going to be coming out. So perhaps this was their first trip into it. Take an existing model that's already out there, revamp it. As long as that goes well, then they can come forth with their new model altogether. These are just me spitballing some ideas based upon the information we have gotten from the past. So information that we got from the past about Shanghai, that is factual. That actually came from China themselves. They said that they wanted to design their own. We also know that they have another facility that is coming up over there that they're calling an expansion, but it is a totally separate factory. So my guess is that they are going to be putting up this compact car and maybe the revamped Model 3 out of that factory. Again, that is just me speculating, but that's speculation on information that is factual. And this would be a huge step going forward because we know that if they're going to be coming out with a less expensive version of the car in 2024, this is going to be their way of not having the Model 3 get completely just wiped out by the new compact car. They've got to put the Model 3 in a category where it's going to stand out from both the compact car and the Model Y. As of right now, the Model Y did cannibalize quite a bit of the Model 3 because just for a few $1,000s more, you can get the Model Y. So I have a feeling they're going to be cutting significant costs on the Model 3. They're going to be dropping the price of the Model 3 down significantly after this rolls out. That will open up the way for them to be able to roll out the new compact car or the less expensive model, whatever we want to call it. They'll be able to roll that out without having to worry about too many people canceling their Model 3 orders, because the price point that they're probably going to end up putting on it is going to be at a point where people are going to say, you know what? It's okay. I don't mind paying that little bit extra for the Model 3. But if they were going to have to pay, let's say, $20,000 more for a Model 3, they absolutely would not. But if they're going to pay maybe $7,000 to $10,000 more for the Model 3, that might be something that they go with. So, chances are, based upon the fact that they're going to be cutting costs on this, and that in turn means that they're most likely going to be dropping the price on it, tells me that they're not going to release this information until we get a lot closer for sure, because as we have already seen in China, when there just were rumors of the price coming down, a lot of people decided to cancel or hold off on their orders. So if we end up getting that same news, we will probably see the same thing. So Tesla's going to want to make a move on this very quickly when they do make that announcement. So again, this is just a rumor. We do not have any truth behind it yet, but just the fact that it sounds like they're going to be cutting out some parts to cut costs, and this is something that Elon has been trying to do all along when it comes to other vehicles anyway, tells me this is something that is in the works and coming down the road. We just need to find out when. Other great news that we got today, Tesla moves up plans for Giga Berlin's third shift after crews set new single production record. Now I'm looking at this and it looks like it came out on November 25th, so this was actually a few days ago. And so this article from Drive Tesla Canada says Tesla has been celebrating the successes of two of its new factories that opened this year, Giga Berlin and Giga Texas. The automaker has shared some recent production updates of their new factory in Austin, most recently announcing that it had surpassed 20,000 vehicles built at the end of October, after having revealed 10,000 Model Ys were built by mid-September. Last update from Tesla on Giga Berlin's production came in September when crews at the factory built 2,000 cars in a single week. Assuming a 100% uptime during the current 6-day work week at Giga Berlin, that put the factory's production at around 333 cars per day. Drive Tesla has now learned the factory set a new single-day production record last week of around 550 cars, translating to a potential weekly production volume of around 3,300 cars. That level of production puts Tesla closer to their goal of producing 5,000 cars per week, and it is enough for them to move up plans to add a third vehicle production shift. According to documentation seen by Drive Tesla, the third shift will start in mid-December. After originally hoping to add a third shift in December, Tesla had postponed those plans until early next year, but with the increased production and increased hiring have now moved up those plans to be back on track with their original schedule. A third shift will give Tesla 24 hours of production and should easily get the factory to its goal of 5,000 cars per week, although maybe not quite before the calendar rolls into 2023. So now this is something we had talked about before, how Tesla was going to be putting up that third shift in December, so now it looks like we are back on track for that. So originally I think it was going to be earlier December, now it's going to be mid-December. My production forecast was based on early December. I will be updating that shortly, and I'll get that out to you guys who are members and patrons. And so while I know that earlier in the year we had planned on getting 5 to 10,000 vehicles per week out of Berlin and Austin, that quickly got squashed as the year went on, and we saw that we were facing a lot more headwinds than anticipated when it came to both supply chain and hiring people. Hiring staff seems to be the biggest headwind at the moment. Seems like they have all the supplies that they need, but you can't do anything with those supplies if you don't have anybody to do anything with them. So now it looks like they are back on schedule for this. So now looking at a mid-December third shift coming in, having that run rate getting pushed up, you figure if they're doing, let's say, lower end 500 vehicles per day, that's 250 per shift, adding another 250, we're looking at probably around 750 vehicles per day getting produced. Obviously, it's not going to start at that. That third shift is going to have to come in, get trained. It's going to be a little slower progress, but shouldn't take that long because they're going to be using the same machinery. They're just going to have to learn how to do the same stuff and become as efficient at it. So I would think that by the end of the year, we're going to be close to that 4,000 vehicle per week range. And then I'm going to guess that by the time we get to the Q4 earnings call, Elon will be able to announce that they are producing 5,000 vehicles per week out of Berlin. Austin, on the other hand, we still do not have a lot of information out of that. We get more information out of Berlin than we do out of Austin, but we did find out recently that Austin is not that far behind Berlin. So perhaps we hear at the Q4 earnings call that Austin is there as well. And then don't forget, we have the Cybertruck coming online. So I would imagine that by the end of 2023, Austin is actually going to be producing more vehicles than Berlin, strictly because of the fact that they're going to be having the Cybertruck coming out of there as well. And so looking at the charts today and how we traded based upon the news that we got, well, we had run up to almost 3% up on the day early, got up to about 188 based upon some of this news and rumors that we got from the revamped Model 3, and then we ended up coming back down and finished basically flat on the day. Still green, and we are still outside of that downward channel, so this is all a good sign here. So as long as we can stay outside of this channel, I think we are in good shape. Now, there's nothing to say that we can't come down any further, and have this be another bigger dead cat bounce. That's totally possible. But the longer we can stay out of this and start to consolidate around this range would be nice. That's what I'm looking for as the week goes on this week, is to at least stay around here, if not move up some as well. So again, above us we have this line at 191 as a resistance level, and then below us we have support at 167. And we do have this gap down here around that 170 mark as well, and gaps do fill 9 out of 10 times, so there is a chance that we do end up pulling back down to fill that. Again, we will watch and monitor as we go forward. The RSI right now is at 39.54, a little bit on the lower end, but nothing too low. And we had volume coming in today at 92 million shares trading hands, so slightly above average. So all in all, it was a very good day today. Despite the fact that Tesla ended up finishing flat on the day, the entire market was down about 1.5%, so that is a significant outperformance by Tesla. And now today I did make my first move into my CDs over at TD Ameritrade. So for those of you who have been watching, I've been talking about how I have about $20,000 or so in cash in my bank account right now, just for savings so I can save up for some real estate. And it just sitting there is doing nothing. I just checked today, I get 0.1% interest annually on that. So from TD, I'm able to get 3.75% in a CD for 1 month. That's going to equate to about 1/3% for the 1 month that I will have it. That is significantly better return on my investment than leaving it just in savings. And I figure the housing market's not going to be cooling off anytime soon. I've probably got 6 months or so before that ends up happening. So in the meantime, I will get a little bit of a better return on that cash instead of letting it just sit in my bank account. So let me know in the comments below, how do you guys feel about this revamped Model 3 project codenamed Highland? Let me know if you guys think there's any truth to this. Let me know if you guys think it's actually going to be coming out in Q3. And let me know what you guys think it's going to end up doing for the costs and in turn, the price of the vehicle afterwards. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.